podcast today. I'm Mark Hayes. Of course, we have the lovely and talented Bernadette Pannier with us. She is the Chief Heart Officer with Insta4Profit. Bernadette, what a pleasure to have you here, first of all. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
Me too. I'm excited to have you here. But first of all, let's start with the CHO. What is the Chief Heart Officer?
So the Chief Heart Officer was something that I actually learned on a different podcast. So it was not my idea. I definitely kind of took it from a different influencer online,
Okay.
but I loved the definition of it. So the Chief Heart Officer is the caring vessel for your company. So not only do I care about my sales and my revenue, I care about my clients and I care about what they bring to me as much as I bring to them. So it's the heart, the beating force, the engine that drives the company. So it gives me the ability to kind of float around within my own company to be able to be sales minded and then customer success minded as well as retention minded, and not always have to be like about the bottom line, which not every conversation I have with my company is sales driven. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's just about getting on with a potential client or a current client and solving a problem.
Right. That is awesome. I love that concept and that title. It speaks to who you are, and there needs to be more heart in business, doesn't there? I mean, we need to be able to communicate and work with each other in a more compassionate fashion. I think our world will be a much better place.
I agree. I feel, for me personally, a few years ago, I made the switch in my brain where I decided I was no longer going to be like a challenger in sales. I was no longer going to be this person that pushed sales on people, that I was going to approach it in a solutions way and really start listening to the pain points of the clients that were coming to me. And I noticed a natural progression in the type of clients I was starting to attract, as well as I started to notice that my retention rate stayed, like my churn wasn't as much. Because I was listening to what those pains were. And if I could solve it within my company, then I would do that for a client. But then there were clients that really had these pains that had nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. And I decided that I would then make introductions in other ways for them to be able to have what they needed might not be what I sold. So I would make those introductions to help them. And I started to notice the natural just change in the type of clientele and my churn and all these things. And I really feel like doing that really established me in a different way amongst my peers. Mm-hmm. And it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just how I wanted to run my company.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about, because we had a little conversation the other day and you were saying, hey, I'm bringing in customers, it's business as usual for me. But it makes sense because now is a great time to be utilizing your social media, telling the stories about what's going on, how you're coping, what you're doing, how you're making a difference. Tell me a little bit about your strategy to keep bringing in more customers and retaining the ones you already have.
Yeah, so the Insta4Profit is part of my consulting firm. And one of the beauties of it is that I launched the program like 6 or 7 months ago. So it was before all of this really kind of let loose. And I had noticed that personally, I was starting to get a lot of attention on Instagram. And I was starting to notice that Instagram was becoming more of a pipeline, which I really don't like that word, but it was becoming a source of revenue for me, for potential clients, for potential partnerships. And I started to really play with it and really try to feel out where I can make that happen. And I had started to notice then on top of that, that in my networking groups, a lot of my scaling business networking friends that were under that 5 million, 3 million, 1 million mark, were really confused by social media and they were really overwhelmed by it. Wow. And it's not something that's taught when you open a business.
Right.
You're not, you are told specific things when you open a business. Get a checking account, get a business license, incorporate yourself in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
Professionally,
Right.
And have a website. And
Right.
then that's kind of it, right? Like they go, and then have fun. And
Right.
it's like, well, you need to be engaging. And how do you engage potential clients if you're not on TV or on radio?
Right.
Well, we have the beautiful version of social media. So, and Instagram itself for me, I think is gorgeous. It's picture related, it's image related. So whether you're a speaker where you become the face of your company, or if you have a product line that needs to be seen, Instagram's a perfect platform for that.
Mhm.
And I started to teach my clients for my consulting firm around business development how to use Instagram. And then 3 months ago, the world changed.
It did.
And I became really popular with everyone because they said, I need to know how to use this now. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to engage. I don't know how to pull people in to purchase from me, whether it's a product or a program or book me from speaking. And I don't even know if I can speak anymore. Like all my engagements got canceled.
Right.
And I was like, well, then just get online and start talking to people.
Right.
Like an audience will follow you if what you're putting out is educational, relevant, and it's what they want to hear.
Absolutely.
You know, if it gives them the what's in it for me, they're going to engage. They're going to be there for that. They're going to follow you. They're going to make comments. They're going to do those things.
Yeah.
So I do that for myself, and now I'm teaching clients how to do that as well. And it's only using the Instagram platform. And I've been teaching how to make posts and keep your post on theme, on brand, because you want to make sure that your professional pages are what you are, who you are, and what you sell. And then teaching how to kind of back into that with the stories to give your clients a piece of you. So, you know, for me, I will, you know, I post about different things about how to make engagements and how to be, you know, I call it care. It's a care program.
Right.
So be creative
Mhm.
with your content, be authentic, be relevant, and always educate.
Wow. Good stuff.
And I feel like if you stay within that little niche, like you'll be good because, you know, I went on today before our interview today on my stories, posted me doing my hair. And then I posted a poll because I said, you know, I was running down to my studio to get on with you and realized I didn't put perfume on. And I ran back upstairs to put perfume on and thought, does anybody else in quarantine before they get on an interview still put perfume on? Is that just me?
I know I didn't put any on either. So no cologne, no perfume for me.
I mean, no, you're not going to smell me. We're not in the same room.
You don't have smell-o-vision.
But I didn't feel complete in my outfit for this today until I like had perfume on. And then I was like,
Right.
okay, now I can do this.
Now you're ready. There you go. There you go. But it all comes down to storytelling with pictures. And, you know, I did that for many years with television news. And you're right. Social media is a beautiful way to express yourself, to connect with others, to sell and tell the story of your brand. But right now, as you mentioned, it's all about adjusting and adapting. And how are you helping your clients to understand, you know, you've got to adjust right now, or else down the road, you may pay a heavier price.
Absolutely. So one of my clients is in fitness. He had a studio and clients were going into the studio every single day. So, you know, he was up and running at 5:30 in the morning until, you know, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, depending on the week, had clients in and out. Well, now that studio's closed. And he's had to make a huge pivot on how to be present online. And he's having to compete against the big dogs in the area that are giving away things for free right now, because they're trying to stay relevant as well.
Right.
And him and I just had a real good conversation about being relevant right now for your clients that you have, they're still paying you, and then clients that you want now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came up with a new program for a virtual online training course. I explained to him that not every sinsingle person right now is going to have like workout equipment in their home.
Right.
So post different things you can use inside your house to work out in the space that you need. You don't have a yoga mat, you just need a bath towel or a beach towel. If you don't have weights, cans of soup, cans of juice, jars of juice, milk jugs, like what those things like, tell me how much a milk jug weighs so that I know if I fill it with water, that's what it is. It's a 5-pound weight. Cool.
Right.
Now I know what that means. And just understanding the fact that we are at home here and we need to still work out and eat healthy and meditate and stretch and do all those things. So him and I just sat down and I said, you just need to put that out there. That's what you need to tell your clients and say, hey guys, I'm here for you. Here's some things you need to remember. Drink water. Try to get some sleep.
Right.
Think about the different things that you're putting in your body. I know you're really stressed and you really want to eat a chip, grab a carrot. It's just as crunchy.
Right.
But just be here, be present, and be here with your clients. And I'm doing that with all of them now. Like it's, I have a client that sells a food product online and her entire company was wholesale. That's not happening now. She's had to pivot to B2C. And I did an entire campaign around the product and recipes and how to make that happen and how to be engaging. We came up with a new hashtag and, I was like, listen, you just got to lean into it. Yeah. And I said this on a talk the other day that I did. If we were walking down the streets of Atlanta right now in downtown in between the buildings, and we got in the middle of a big windstorm, which we've all been in Atlanta, we would not hide in an alleyway from the wind. We would be leaning into that windstorm and walking down that street and getting to our appointment. Yeah. You have to do the same thing right now. Yeah, you've got to lean into this and just push through and know that on the other side of this, there is money, business, new clientele, and revenue. And if that means you have to pivot a little bit, whether it's 40 degrees or it's 180, it's up to you. But you just have to lean into this moment and just experience it for what it is. And you can't give up. If that didn't work, if that little pivot didn't work, pivot again. Just keep moving. Eventually something will stick. Someone will start purchasing from you because we're not going to stop buying.
Right. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff, Bernadette. We could go on all day. You and I have great chemistry. We could talk for hours. But tell folks where they can find you. I know you have your Insta4Profit Facebook page. What's your website and your Instagram handle?
So my Insta4Profit, so Insta4Profit is my Instagram handle. Okay. It's also my Facebook group, so you can search for me on either of those two platforms. And my website is BernadetteBPannier.com. So that has a way for you to look at my different projects, some of my speaking events, and it's got some contact ways on there for you as well. So you can book some time on my calendar or send me an email and ask me a question. I'm always there to help out any way I can.
Awesome. Awesome. And we'll put it in the description too. Well, Bernadette, thank you so much. Please, you and your family stay healthy. Thanks for joining us. We'll check in with you again soon for some more amazing updates. And I'm glad, your business is flourishing and doing well. Wish you all the best, my friend.
Thanks. You too. Thanks for having me, Mark. It's been a great time.
Absolutely.